Well, if you're just joining us, this is My Mama Done Told Me. We're on episode 23. Lauren's favorite number.
Yeah.
Why? Oh,
I can't
Always has
say.
been.
remember. You can't say.
It has been since she was just
Teenager.
a wee lass.
Yeah. But I was in like junior high.
Yeah, it was
Shut up. You gotta take that off. Because,
I'll bleep it out.
I mean, with my luck.
He's
Yeah.
listening.
Yes.
Or somebody he knows is listening. But that teenage crushes,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
it
it was Michael Jordan, wasn't it? That's why it's 23 is your favorite number.
No.
Michael Jordan's number.
I mean, sure.
Yes.
Uncomfortable.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it. MJ.
Yep. It's Michael Jackson's basketball number, right?
Michael Jackson.
My name's Jeff. That's
Hey.
Lauren, and that's Mom.
Hi.
Hello.
This is My Mama Done Told Me,
Yep.
Yes.
a podcast where we sit here and we talk about things
Yep.
because we want to.
Concerted effort to have family time.
Uh-huh.
And you get to watch us.
You get to listen
Yep.
or watch.
Yep.
Yep.
Lucky you.
You know what I just noticed, and this is really off topic.
That's fine.
See that right there? It says newer
What does?
right there.
On the tripod.
Yeah.
Wiener. Newer. Wiener.
Wiener. Knee. There's no way they didn't do that on purpose.
Has to be. Huh. Newer.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Wiener.
My brain.
You know what I just
flipped
noticed?
it.
Your water bottle says up water. Poo. Poo water.
Poo water.
Yeah, P-U.
Poo retois.
Ritois. Mm-hmm. Poo ritois. Sounds like sounds like how you'd say pure water in French. Puitra. Ritois.
Some new language.
Right?
Yeah.
The backwards
get
language.
Alkaline water.
Oh, your alkaline's low?
Yeah, my pH is off, I guess. I
I
don't know.
know, I could smell you.
Shut up.
You know, they say like when like a lady wears men's deodorant and the pH is off, so they stink.
Yeah.
Is it true?
No, because I always wear men's deodorant.
That's why you stink?
No, I just took a shower. What are you talking about? I don't stink.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
They just want to sell more deodorant.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
the
you
women's
guys-
deodorant is more expensive.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
But I don't like the smell of some of the men's. It's too many.
There's too many Mannies.
It's too many. It's too
Too many.
I got
Too-
one that's
ugh.
called like wilderness or something, and it smells like
patchouli.
it smells like
Turn
lavender.
her down.
Patchouli.
No, it smells like lavender, like wildflowers or something.
In the
smells good.
forest.
No, it doesn't even smell like man.
Because it smells of green.
Lauren is shifty-eyed today. We've all had long weeks.
Yeah, it's been a week, man.
Yeah.
If-
I was just talking about that with Zach. He
Yeah.
was like, it's been a really long week. I go, I don't think it's been that long. It's just like, there's just so
What else?
much going on.
Every day, it's like there's something else this
something.
week.
It's always something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Going through it.
Life.
But we here at My Mama Done Told Me we would stop at nothing to bring you the greatest entertainment that we can. We put a lot of effort into this.
Yes, we do.
Look at all the notes we have. Look at all the research we've done. Thanks
Look at
to
me
our
sitting here
I've
and
had to
not
do
on
some
my bed
research.
reading
It's
a
like-
book.
Going back into the annals of my memory is like
Mom.
not easy.
Don't say anal.
annals, not anals.
Well, I want to go in the annals of my memory.
You want to go into the anus
anals.
of your memory.
It's right back there.
Back here, right in the
Come on.
anal gland.
Gross. You have to
What if we-
express it.
What if we had? if you turn your
I
head
don't
the
think
wrong,
I've seen Jeff laugh that hard in a long time.
you have to like if you turn your head the wrong way, you like it like excretes.
Oh, God.
What if we had anuses on the back of our heads? Like, what if our like our food comes through our butt, but like, what if we had to like let
Like-
thoughts out?
Like head
Oh
waste.
my goodness. Oh, you can tell it's been a long week. We're like really off the wall.
People have to wear like beanies that have like a little like absorption
Yeah.
pad on the back.
A little pouch.
You have to get a maxi pad for your head.
Imagine it.
Tampon.
Or if it was like you had to like hold it and then go to a bathroom and there's like a little head dispenser that's
Kind of like a little.
Or like, what happens when you sneeze? Do you have to like?
I
You have to do both sides.
smell my hand.
Oh no! Disgusting. Make
going
sure you
from
wash
bad-
your hands.
Bad to worse. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be
Anyways,
funny.
that was your fault.
Yeah, anals.
Anals of your head or memories
I'm
or
not
whatever.
sure that that's entirely wrong.
I think it's
Anals.
anals.
It
Okay.
can't be anals because
It's
that's
not. It's not.
But I think it's what part of the country you're from and how you say it.
so it's like soda and pop. Let's see if we can look it up. Coke or whatever.
Oh, all the way back into the anals of my memory.
You have to do some research.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the entertainment you all signed up for, y'all.
This is true.
So 30 minutes is gone.
Yeah.
Time to end.
Oh, we're about halfway through our
Yep.
episode at the moment.
Oh yeah, we are, huh? 12 minutes and 46 seconds.
Talking about zero things.
Anals of our brains. Okay.
Anywho.
Let's talk about our topic
Okay.
for today. Childhood.
Oh.
What a time.
What a time to be alive.
What a time that we all had.
What a world. What a world.
The three of us and everyone listening had a childhood.
Of some
There's just
sort
no ifs,
or
ands, or
another.
buts
true.
about that. Some of them were better than others.
Yep.
Some of them were more memorable.
Yeah.
Some parts, I should say, were more memorable. Some of it wasn't good memories. Some of it was very, very good memories. Everyone's got their own thing. But I think it's probably a fair, I guess, assumption that everybody has some fond memories that if they had the opportunity to go back and relive a part of it, they might. Right? Just for the sake of spending one day in the past to relive what you lived. So specifically, the topic is, if you could go back to a time in your childhood and spend a day, when would it be and why?
Okay.
So I have questions,
Yes.
of course. Are we assuming that when we go back to that day,
That we're kids.
that we know everything that we knew that we know now? Or are we
no.
going back
No,
and just reliving it?
I think we're going back and blissfully unaware of things.
Right. Mom, speak, wise one.
Do
you
want
have
me
to talk like
tell you
Yoda.
mine already?
Sure.
it time- is
Yeah,
it-
whatever you want.
Well, I just thought about there wasn't a lot in my childhood that was happy memories, unfortunately. But I do remember a time I would want to go back to would be in Charlotte, North Carolina. Would have been about 1957, between 1957 and 1958.
And you were born in 50?
I was born in 50,
Yeah.
so now everybody knows how old I am.
It's all right.
That's okay, I don't care.
I'll bleep it if you want me to.
No, I don't care. 1957.
You're
so
born
it
in
was like
18. Beep. Redacted.
Yeah, redacted. I was born in redacted, 19 redacted. Anyway, my stepfather was stationed in the Air Force, and we lived in a trailer park, and it was the most fun summer I've ever had in my life. It must have been kind of on the edge. It was in a place called Belmont, North Carolina, outside of Charlotte,
Okay.
which I'm sure now it's all built up and everything, but back then it was kind of on the edge of farmland. And we had friends that we went to school with that actually lived on a farm and had a barn. And we would go there. We could ride our bikes. Of course, back then you could leave in the morning and come home at dinner and you were fine.
No one asked.
No one
Yeah.
asked. But this place was so fun. There was an area that everybody thought was a American Indian burial ground. It sort of looked like a mesa. It was built up and there was trees and we would have picnics in there and look for artifacts. And
Did you find anything?
never found anything.
Okay,
I think it
just a
probably was
myth.
just a legend. It was a myth, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but it was fun looking.
Yeah.
And then right in the same area was an abandoned racetrack.
Oh, nice.
It was all dirt, but still had the tower, and we could go up in the tower, and the kids
Dang.
would ride the bikes in circles around. Oh, it was so fun.
That sounds cool.
And our friends who had the farm, we could go in their barn and jump from the loft into the haystacks and just
Yeah.
swing on ropes out of the thing, all the way from the top all the way down over. We just
Yeah.
and one other thing, there was an old man that lived on the corner that owned a tire shop. And back then, all the tires had inner tubes in them. So all the old inner tubes he threw behind the shop, and it was like at the bottom of a big concrete bank. And we would stand up on that concrete bank and jump into the inner tubes,
Oh, wow.
onto the pile of inner tubes. I mean, we could have gotten hurt.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many ways we could have gotten hurt and all that, but we had the best time.
Yeah.
It was just so much to do. And I just remember being feeling free and
Yeah.
feeling like I could just go and have fun for
Yeah.
days. It was just a
That's
riot.
really cool.
Went home dirty,
Yeah.
Yeah.
tired, and hungry.
It's the best way to
It
come
was
home after
so-
a day in the
Yeah,
summer.
it was so much fun.
Yeah.
So I would go back there.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good. And so you said you were about 7 or 8.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was when Liz was born, just right before she was born. And she
Yeah.
was born my sister Liz, she was born in 57.
Yeah.
So it was probably the summer of 57.
Was the summer of 69.
Yeah. It was even longer ago than 69. Oh, long time.
That's cool.
That was a lot of fun.
Who were you hanging out with?
My sister,
So it was you and Chris, and
me
that
and
was it?
Chris. No, there was these other kids, but I
Okay,
can't
from-
remember
from
their
the park,
names.
probably,
Yeah,
or-
they
yeah.
all lived around there, and the kids that lived on the farm.
Yeah. Okay.
They were
yeah.
all there. And I remember her mom, I mean, I still don't know for sure if it was chitlins, but I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
She used to fry up these things, little crispy things that, they were so good.
Yeah.
And I think it was chitlins.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good memory.
Yeah, they were really good memories. And fresh peach ice cream.
Yum.
Oh,
Somebody,
wow.
Sounds
I mean,
good.
there
Yeah, it
was
does.
it was the best. Anyway,
Cool.
probably my favorite summer ever as
Yeah.
a kid.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lauren, do you have anything in your brain? And,
Yeah.
and why is it in Cass Lake?
I already, that's what I was just going to say. Like, we probably have the same one. But yeah, definitely would be in Cass Lake.
Yeah.
It would be at Stony Point Resort as kids. I want to be like 10-ish.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little before, maybe 8 or something. And I just want, because we went there not long ago as adults, and it was fun. We had a good time, but it wasn't quite the same just
No.
because you're not
A kid.
a kid and you're not,
You
your
Grandma's
see,
inhibitions.
Grandma's not back there making hush puppies
I
and fried
know.
fish.
I know.
Grandpa's boat's not on the
Yeah.
dock. And,
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I for sure would want to go back to Cass Lake as a kid and swim and, find the leeches and go fishing and, talk about coming home dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can remember like the way like on your toes where it like would get those little spots
Yep.
because you had
Dirt.
sand and dirt. And
Yeah.
it was gross, but it was, and I still to this day, every time I smell Caress soap, I'm back in that bathtub
Yeah.
at grandma's.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, that's
it's
funny.
insane. If you
Yeah.
ever like go to Target or something and just pop the thing open and smell it,
Yeah.
you'll be there.
Oh, that's
It's
interesting.
crazy.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah, like
remember-
you said, the food, the
Oh, yeah.
fires, s'mores, and
The golf cart, you guys were able to
being-
drive the golf cart around.
When I almost broke Lauren's arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I know about that?
Probably not.
I don't know. I believe we've told you that story before.
I don't
but
remember.
Maybe
I don't
we did.
remember it.
yeah,
That's
it was,
okay.
it was before they stopped letting kids drive the golf carts.
That's probably why they stopped.
Yeah. And I was driving and I took a turn real
was
sharp
like,
and I
And I
slung
went,
Lauren off the side and I was like, don't tell mom, don't tell mom,
I was
don't tell
like,
mom.
my arm really hurts though.
Oh my gosh, that would have been terrible.
I know. It wasn't broken, obviously.
She ain't no snitch.
Nope.
No, she's not.
Papa ain't Ray no snitch.
Well, I know that Dad and Carlita would be very, very happy to hear that these memories that
Yeah.
you know that you had from all those years of going there. That we're very happy for you.
I wore my shirt today
yeah.
too.
Oh, you did? Oh, I love
My
it.
Stony Point shirt that I got.
Yeah.
I used to have another one. I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it. I think I might have
Tossed
got
it.
rid of it or something. It was old. It was from
remember-
when we went with Caden. That's
Yeah.
right.
There was a couple, like a summer or two that I spent out there by myself with grandma and grandpa for, a month or I don't remember how long I stayed out there. But one of the things I remember, and this isn't necessarily but you talked about, being dirty when you came back. I remember Grandma Carlita telling me that you can go in the lake as much as you want, but you got to shower when you get home. So I'd be like, Grandma, can I go, jump go swimming in it, whatever, with whatever kid was around? Yeah, but just remember, you got to shower when you get back and you got to clean off or whatever. Because at that summer, they didn't have the trailer anymore. They had the RV. And so I'd have to go to the little bathhouse and shower. So I wasn't a stinky little boy sitting on their couch.
Yeah,
I'm
With
sure.
sand
Yeah.
everywhere.
But I remember there were days where I showered probably 7 times because I'd be like, I want to go back out. Like, you know what that means, but go ahead.
Go ahead, I
Yeah,
guess.
all right. So that's funny because
Yeah.
I just remember showering.
That's the
a
same
lot.
summer that you went out to Ann Arlene's Lake and
Yeah.
went out in the canoe by yourself. I about had a fit when I found out he was out in that lake by himself.
Yeah.
Well, Grandma and Grandpa thought
It's
it was
fun.
okay.
Yeah,
It was fun.
that's it. Oh, I'm sure you were just fine, but I
Yeah.
probably would have had a heart attack if I wouldn't have
Yeah.
let him do it.
Yeah.
My day that I would go back to, if I was struggling with this because there's a lot of good memories. I honestly, yes, Stony Point and Cass Lake would definitely be in the running. But when I was thinking about this, it was more, I think, specific, just days that felt so lighthearted, and that's, dealing with some of the stresses that we have going on right now and whatnot. I kind of long for the days where I'd
It was
wake,
carefree.
yeah, I'd wake up and the only thing I wanted to do was see if DJ and Andy wanted to go play street hockey all day. You know what I mean? And that was our entire day.
Yeah.
Or just days where I could get up in the summer and I knew there was a Jack's Pizza for lunch
Yeah.
and we were just gonna
Watch Mr. Belvedere. and-
or walk up to Millard South and go
Yeah,
to the
swimming.
or go up to Smacks and get an ice cream cone for $0.25.
Yeah.
There just wasn't anywhere we had to be or anything we had to do
Yeah. It was kind
at that
of
time. We knew that once the parents got off work and all that, there was going to be dinner and we probably had to do dishes and all that. So that sucked, but I'm just kidding. But during the day,
We were kind of on our own.
we were a little bit on our own and just feeling like there was nothing could bother us. The worst that was going to happen is Lauren was going to be annoying and that
Come
was
on
it.
now. You were going to fall and scrape your knee or something.
Right.
Like, oh, well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember, I have a lot of good memories of things like going to jazz on the green with Dad.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one, too.
Like I remember kind of hating the first hour or so because it was a little bit boring because we just kind of sit there and it was hot.
Yeah.
But once the sun got kind of behind the building and the music started and everyone was whatever, I remember just loving being there.
Yeah. It was so fun.
Yeah. So I don't know that I'm going to pick a single time because then I go back to Cass Lake, Minnesota, or I go back to when I was real young and just remembering, Mom, we kind of mentioned this before, just how safe I felt like going to bed at your house. And like, it was there's something really cozy when I think back on like my blue room on 149th Street and the blue shag carpet, blue walls, looking
Bright
at it,
blue.
looking at
Like
it now.
Cookie Monster
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like blue, like straight up blue. And yours was red. Your carpet was red. I think your walls were white.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
But
Mom and Larry's was green and pink.
ugh,
Like neon green. The carpet. Neon green.
And not always.
no.
No, you
That's
changed
when we
it.
first moved in.
Yeah.
But
There was a lot of neon green in
there
there.
was
I just remember when the door would close to my room, I felt so like secure.
yeah.
That's
There was just
good.
something like, so I don't know. I don't like,
Yeah.
So when I think about which day would I want to go relive, there's a part of me that's like, let's go do the really fun stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
When we went to Cass Lake and we got to paddle boat,
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
pedal boat or whatever,
Paddle
or get on Grandpa's pontoon boat and go fishing and, sitting there watching him carve up the fish and, those things, those are good memories to me.
Yeah.
Those are the fun things. But then there's another part of me that goes, I kind of want to just go and
Just
like,
the innocence
mundane
of
stuff,
childhood. The
yeah.
innocence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
because one of the things that I thought of was I remember, and you probably don't even remember this because you were really little, but I remember being in when we all lived at Dad's, and it was there wasn't very many houses out there,
No.
and it was me and Joey and a kid named Sam and Amanda, and we would go, and maybe Nikki too. I can't remember if she came out with us or not, but
Probably not.
but we would go out and they were building houses all the time. So we would go in the new houses.
yeah,
And
so dangerous.
oh my God. Well, I remember Joey stepped on a nail one time and
Yeah.
it came out through the top.
Oh,
Ouch.
Do you remember that, Mom?
I don't remember that.
I don't know if I told you.
Probably didn't. I don't remember that. But
I know I
would
had
think
to
his
tell
mom would
Mom.
have told me.
Well, maybe she, or maybe I don't know when it was, but yeah, the new construction, we would run around in all the new construction things, even though we weren't supposed to. I can still smell it. I can smell the sawdust,
the
and
wood. Yeah,
yeah.
2x4s.
And you weren't very old, Lauren. You guys shouldn't have been doing that. You were. Where was I? Why were you running around on all these houses? Because you were only like
We used to do it all the time. It was constant. Was just what we did.
I remember going into the behind Dad's fence
Yeah.
before there was any into the
cornfield.
cornfields, and we would break open the
Yeah.
the old corn cobs, and there's the white
chewy stuff.
and we'd called it
Chew it.
Yeah, it was
we'd
like
call
spongy.
it Indian chewing gum, which now is probably problematic, but
yeah,
but
for sure.
that's
But
what we called it.
yeah,
And we'd
yeah, we
chew it
chewed
up.
it.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Dad about that the other
Really?
day. Yeah,
Oh, that's
Oh, that's
interesting.
funny.
And now there's
houses
millions of
back
houses,
there. Yeah.
big house and a lake.
And giant trees that
Yeah.
have been there for 35 years,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So yeah, I think for me, if I had to settle, maybe it's just my state of mind right now, I'd probably go back to something really mundane and quiet and
Yeah.
hope that when I come back to present time, I can bring some of that with me. You know what I mean? If I can go back,
Right.
we talk about, can I go back there knowing what I know now? That'd be kind of nice, because even though you could get too deep or too analytical about this and go, well, if I could do that, then I'd tell my parents, hey, I'm from the future and I'd invest in this and put it in my name.
And your
you know?
parents would be like, okay, Jeff.
Yeah.
Hey, crazy boy.
Okay.
But if we're just taking all the that stupid stuff out of it and just saying where would I want to experience again and kind of remember what it felt like,
Right.
it's those things. It's not necessarily the incredible crazy things that we did. It's sitting on the dock quietly by myself in Cass Lake launching a bobber into the water because Grandpa wasn't ready to go fishing yet.
Right.
So I'm catching little sunfish.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
sitting in my room, waking up on a summer morning, knowing that I have nothing that I have to do. So it's
Yeah.
just I get to call Andy and play, you know, or those sort
Yeah.
of things. I
I'm
think
glad you guys have those kinds of memories. I mean, that speaks a lot that you had a childhood that was secure and felt safe
absolutely.
Yeah.
and felt happy, you know, that you can't really pick a time that you'd want to go back.
Yeah.
Because I look back through mine and it's a fog of
Dark.
darkness and, you know, there was a little bit of light. So
Yeah.
I'm really grateful that you
Me
have
too.
that many memories
Yeah,
to
me
look
too.
back on
Yeah.
fondly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else come to your mind that you think that like, no, not really? Wow.
Not that I want to go back to.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm sure there are. I mean, I don't want to.
What if we pulled it a little older and we said something like teenage years or early adulthood? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Man, that might be even worse.
Really?
I made a lot of bad choices back then.
Sure.
I didn't have, you know, teenage high school was hard. It was really hard.
Yeah.
So
For me, if I went into teenage high school years, it would definitely be the start of playing music with my
yeah.
friends.
yeah.
Because that was probably the most thrilling thing that I have.
Well, I was thinking of that when you were talking about your memories of
Yeah.
childhood, but I'm thinking, well, you were a teenager by then.
Yeah.
That really wouldn't be considered childhood. But
Yeah.
I know how
Right.
happy you were to, you know, play in your band
Yep.
and take every opportunity you could to do shows and
Yep.
how much fun it was to watch you guys do that.
Yeah, and just know, like, that was everything.
Yeah.
That consumed every minute of our thought pretty much. It was, when is practice? When's our next show? You know, write this new song or
Right.
perfect these 15 songs that we play over and over and over and
Yeah.
over and over
Yeah.
again. But we loved it.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I felt like, I was never into sports or anything like that. So I didn't have the like team mentality that a lot of kids get when they grow up. Not
Yeah.
that I didn't have the opportunity, because I did. I just didn't connect with it. I
Right.
didn't want that.
Right.
This wasn't a competition. Playing music wasn't. This was a collaborative
Right.
and
Collaborative effort.
yeah,
Yeah.
and time to spend, and you felt cool when you did it, so you felt good.
Yeah.
When you
Well, and
got
you had little
reaction.
successes that really
Yeah,
made you boosted
yeah.
your
We won a
egos
couple
and-
Battle of the Bands,
right.
or we had like some talent shows that we got, and looking back on it, it's almost cringy because, you're a little kid and you think you're cool and your music's horrible and all that. But at the time, that was everything.
was
Right.
cool.
We needed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, and you had T-shirts.
Yeah.
And you had, it was-
You had other kind
it
of
was
merch. You
fun.
had stickers.
Right.
And,
And we had our little, at that time when you're younger and you're in school and everything, it's easy to find kids who want to go to your, once you're older and out, no one wants to go. I mean,
Right.
it's hard, you're
Like,
harder pressed.
No, man, I got
Yeah, I got
kids, or
stuff
I
to
got.
do. But back then that was it, and they wanted to support you and they wanted to like go crazy when you're out there.
Yeah.
So the reactions were a lot,
fed
almost
into all
more-
of it.
Yeah, more pure. And
Yeah.
so it was a good feeling.
I think for me, if we zoom it out
The
a little
unicycle?
bit, no.
Oh, okay.
Why would I? No.
We're just going to talk about all the times you broke your arm.
Jeez. Okay.
I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I think if we zoomed out a little, in the same vein of that is, when I started getting into local music and like going to the Ranch Bowl and seeing all those bands play and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so fun. We had such a rich local
Yeah, we
scene
did.
here for
Yeah.
a minute there. And I'm not that it's not that way anymore, but
different.
it is different. And I think it's because the venues are different.
Yeah.
It's not a hole in the wall
Yeah.
type of a situation anymore like
was a
Shea
pla-
Riley's was or the Ranch Bowl was.
Right.
Now it's like more like, I mean, geez.
Made for-
Right.
yeah.
Like if we would have been going to shows at like the Waiting Room it would have been such a different
right.
experience just because it's so nice in there. And it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
it's not Sokol Underground.
Right. It's not the cog factory
Right,
where you
yeah.
literally
Or
are
Rebels or
slipping,
whatever.
slipping on people's sweat and blood as you walk, and
Yep.
grime.
No, thank you.
Right.
But
it was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yep.
And it was, you could go buy a $10 ticket to see one of your favorite bands that was playing on the,
Right.
the college station or whatever. And it was like,
Yeah.
it was the best. Like
Yeah.
those were some really fun times, even though high school for me, I wasn't really the biggest fan of high school.
No, I wasn't
But-
either. The school part, anyway.
Nobody
But
was.
that part was fun. And it was, because then, even though I wasn't in any of the bands, I felt like, but I knew some people that were. So that made me feel like I was in, had like,
You had your clique. You
Yeah.
had your people.
well, and you knew all the words to all the songs and you would go see all the,
Yep.
and it was just
Do
like,
you remember the first show that you took me to? I remember it vividly. I remember everything
was it
about
Disturbed?
it. Yep. Yeah. It was
I do.
It was Disturbed and Seven Dust and POD, I believe.
I would love to go to that show again now,
Well,
but it would be at
huge now.
CHI.
Yeah. This was at the Ranch Bowl and there was a good crowd there, but like that might not have been the first one.
What was
POD
the
and Seven, but Disturbed was.
Okay.
Because I remember you even being like, the guy right behind us is the lead singer of Disturbed. And I'm like, oh, I'm just a little kid,
Yeah.
not really knowing a whole lot about that world,
Yeah.
And, but I loved it. And
Yeah, it
obviously
was
I went
fun.
to a lot of shows after that, but, that was,
Yeah, it was a
Yep.
fun time. It was a kind of a weird time too. Like
yeah.
sometimes I have a hard time like even remembering parts of it. But
Yeah.
well, there was,
Well-
it's funny because that was a confusing time of our life because we were kind of changing and,
Right.
and, you were kind of getting into trouble, quote unquote, where, Mom and Larry weren't always happy with some of the things you were doing
Yeah.
because you kind of started smoking around that a little later. And
yeah, it was later than that.
yeah, but
yeah.
because I remember driving around in your Civic, your little manual transmission Civic and,
Yeah.
and, kind of thinking like this is fun, this is cool, but also like, are we
We're gonna get in trouble.
get in trouble for what we're doing right now? So it was kind of a weird, like a transitionary time
Right.
in our lives,
Yeah.
but there's also a lot of cool and good
Yeah.
memories that came out of that as
Yeah.
well. So
I agree.
So one more thing I did happen to think of as
Yeah.
you guys were talking about that. In high school, a light of that time was Peony Park.
oh my
And
gosh,
going
yeah.
to Peony Park,
a
going
high V
swimming.
now.
Oh my! I know it was so much fun to go there though.
Yeah.
And spend time on the beach, and
Yep.
you could meet all of your friends and spend the
Slice
day.
up your
and
feet on
get
that
a tan. and-
weird. The bottom of the pool thing was
oh
like
yeah,
you
was
would
concrete
hurt your-
with sand on it.
Yeah, it would hurt your feet.
It was
I
gross,
remember
but
that.
it was really a lot of fun. And then
Yeah.
the music part. So if there's any of our older generation listening to the show, they probably, and they're from Omaha, they'll remember Sandy's Escape in Benson. And that was a teen nightclub. That
Oh,
was
nice.
so fun. And we would try to go every Friday or Saturday night and stand in line to get in. And it was two levels
Yeah.
and dark in there. And you could, stand shoulder to shoulder. You could barely find a place to dance. People would dance. It was a lot of fun. And one time, and I found out when I was at Trinity Church, excuse me, one of the pastors there was one of the, I think he was, oh, no, I can't remember. Anyway, Dave Collins, and that's okay to say his name. He's still a pastor at Lifegate. And he was in the band there.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and we used to go and watch him play in the band all the time.
That's
So then when I saw him at Trinity, 30 years later, 40
Right.
years later, it was
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is
Connect-
But yeah, so those
connecting over
were
that.
those
Yeah.
were fun times,
Yeah.
social times,
Yep.
because you didn't
where you
have
could just kind of let loose and
well,
not
and
really
we didn't
worry
have
about.
we didn't have Facebook or anything,
Yeah.
Instagram or
We didn't either.
texting or FaceTime or anything like that. So if you wanted to see your friends, you had to get out and do something social to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty safe way.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
was-
and we, when we were doing the band thing was the early days of the internet. So yeah, because at the very beginning, there was no, even like MySpace wasn't a
Right,
thing and all that. So everyone still printed out flyers. So you'd have to go give flyers
Right,
to
flyer
shows.
shows and-
yeah.
Right.
And I know they still
Zach
do
still
that.
does it.
but it's not as necessary. It's
Right.
more for the nostalgia, and as people walk around Benson or whatever, they'll see it then, and that's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he and others
I
still
like
do
the
that.
analogness of it.
Me too.
Just because it feels more tangible. You
Yeah.
can,
Yep.
you know.
But in those days, you didn't have access to Canva and Photoshop and things where you could quickly and easily create something. You had to like cut out
Yeah.
letters
It was
and,
like
and
collage.
type it, and then put it on a copier 30
Yep.
times at Kinko's or wherever
Yep.
to do all that. And it was just it was a lot of fun, a lot of work, but it was fun.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Well, and it was like creative too to
Yeah.
see how you could, what you could do to the flyers or the posters
Uh-huh.
or whatever to make it stand out more than the other ones. Because there was a million of them on the
Put it
wall
on
at the
bright
Ranch
pink
Bowl
paper.
or whatever. Yeah, they were all neon. They were all, but it was all like, just black ink on
Right.
paper. That was it.
Well, and that was what was great about the Ranch Bowl for those of us that were able to go to it, is this was like a decent, I mean, it was a crap hole, but it was a decent sized room and stage and sound system
Yeah.
and all that big bands could play on, and so could local bands.
Yeah.
And I know we're getting a little off topic, but it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But you could also, they would make flyers for the shows. So you could come pick up a stack of flyers
Right.
that they made. I mean, it might not be
They just
exactly
want people to come to their
Right,
bar or their
their place,
show
yeah.
or whatever.
So you felt so cool going and picking up the flyers for
Yeah, had your
Point
name on
Blank. You're like, what? Cool,
So
know?
cool, yeah.
And yeah, so that was neat. The Ranch Bowl was a cool place. It's a
Yeah, it
Walmart
really
now.
was.
Peony Park is a
It's a
Hy-Vee now,
Hy-Vee.
and Ranch Bowl's a Walmart now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is what it is, I guess.
Yep.
Anyway,
Progress.
quote unquote, right?
Right.
Yep. All right. So, anything else passing? We're over time, but we wasted time at the beginning, so it's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
We could probably cut some of that out.
Yeah, I might. I'll cut out John's name, that's for sure. All right. So, to our listeners, if you could go back in time into your childhood or your teen years or early adulthood, or you choose, and spend a day, what would be that day? What's the
day
memory?
consists of.
Tell us about that day, and we will talk about that on the air. Unless you tell us not to, then we won't. But if you want to share your stories with us, you can find us through our email address, which is,
My mama done told me podcast at gmail.com.
or if you want to get onto our social medias and send us a message or something like that, you can find a link to all of those social media outlets. We have all the main big ones. We don't have any of the small little stupid ones. Yes, we do. We have ones that no one follows us on, but that's all right. Mom, where do they find the links to those?
In the show notes.
In the show notes.
Do it every time.
Show notes.
Notes.
In the show notes.
Show notes.
Shoinoid.
Shoy noise. Okay, well, this has been episode 23. Michael
Oh my
Jordan.
gosh. Time
of-
is flying.
I know. Of
23 Michael Jordan.
MMDTM. My mama done told me. This has been My Mama Done Told Me.
Are you doing all right over there? Chad?
MMMMMDDM.
Glitching out.
Mama done told me. We hope you keep your minds open and be kind to each other. Until next time, we hope you keep your minds open and be kind to each other. Until next time,
Repeat.
we hope you keep your minds open and be kind to each other. And until next time,
Peace out.
we hope you keep your minds open and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody. Love you.
Good night.
Bye. Love you.
What?
Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Fred Durst.
I'm just here.
Not dead.
I know it was a joke.
Fred Durst is the lead singer of a band called Limp Bizkit.
I've heard of Limp Biscuit.
It is Bizkit.
Bizkit.
Biscuit?
Biz,
Limp
Bizkit. Quiet pig.
Who are you calling a fig?
This. Quiet fish. You gotta do what you gotta do, what
Yeah,
you
that's
gotta do,
right.
what you gotta do.
Yep.
You gotta.
Sometimes you gotta.
Sometimes you gotta.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Oh, shoot.
Yep.
Shoot nuggets.
You just came apart.
Oh, you pooped on your chute.
I didn't poop on anything.
Hello? Can
Hello?
you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Mm-hmm. As the bird,
As the
what,
crow
the crow-
flies. Yeah.
as the bird
As
flies.
the bird flaps.
As the crane.
It's probably about a half a mile if you just go directly there.
As the crow flies.
Yeah,
As the crow's next.
that's what I meant.
As the crow's next.
Yeah.
If you're up in the crow's next and you fly.
Ud up.
Up.